a few months ago, and I have been using at least in tools from about past 8 years or so. And my co-leader Deepak has recently joined the event. So, hey
Hey,
Deepak.
Deepak,
Hi. Hi, everybody.
how are you? How are things
Good.
there?
Good.
Very good. So, Deepti, do you wanna do a? Oh, I see your Confluence T-shirt. Nice flex, huh? You're on mute. You're on mute.
I was actually just flaunting to my t-shirt.
Ah, nice. Actually, I'm missing so much on the swag. You know,
So many t-shirts and so many goodies. I never leave my water bottle.
yeah, very nice. Nice endorsements.
It's so rich.
Yeah, I mean, every time we meet up, we end up giving so much swag, t-shirts, bottles. I miss that. But, fingers crossed, we might come back to it. But until then, we'll keep on wearing our old t-shirts like BPS. I don't have the Confluence one.
So there is one more. I have 7 t-shirts and a hoodie and a lot of goodies.
Wow.
Yes.
I see somebody's not distributing their goodies, huh?
Plus one on that. Dipti, plus one on that.
Huh?
I do have a lot of goodies. Thanks to you and Sajid and everybody, right?
Yeah.
Do you have this bottle?
Yeah, I do.
This is a very nice bottle, by the way.
This is really awesome, to be frank, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we always go to woods in Gurgaon where we it is such a surreal place, and
I
it's
know.
since 2015 we are doing our meetups there. So it's been 5 years. So it's just like, you just go there, you call them at any point in time, guys, we have a meetup coming up. Is there anything? Please create something. If nothing, they will create something in their backside lawn, and that's very beautiful. So yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah, I miss it too.
And Dipti, I remember the first meetup we had there.
Yeah, I know. My God.
Nice.
Hi, Ashish.
Hi.
Nice. So, for the people who have not joined us at the woods, please do. Whenever this settles down, we are going to give a nice party thing. We give lunches also, which are amazing. I miss having lunch with my friends. So, okay. So I think we should start with our session. We have 5 minutes already over. So today's speakers are Sarika and Vedant. They are joining in from Trundle. This is the second time Trundle is hosting with us, and Sarika has already given a session, which is amazing. And we hope to see the same this time as well. So over to you, Sarika. Just give a quick 1-line or 2-line introduction, and then we can start. Same with you, Vedant. And let me know who wants to go first. I'll make it.
Hello everyone. Hello everyone. So let me share my screen first. I think I'm not able to share my screen, Meghna. I not have permission.
You have to make her host, I think.
1 second. Let me check. Why is this happening? Okay. Now. Can you?
So I hope you all can see my screen. Yeah.
Yes. How do you feel, Sarika, doing it again? I want to hear your experience.
It's really good for me. I'm learning a lot from this event, and apart from that, Sajid is boosting up. So this is really a good collaboration that I have received from you and from Sajid. So first I will give you the introduction why we all gathered. So today we all gathered for to learn how we can achieve the automation in Jira via the script runner. Me and from my side, Vedant is there. Just give me a minute. Yeah. So hi everyone, myself Sarika Dalal, and I am part of Trundle from last 3 years, and I have total 4.5 years of experience in Atlassian tools. I have completed my all Atlassian certificate related ACP 100, 600 and others are there. If you have any question related to me, or if you have any query, please feel free to reach out to me on the below mail IDs. Okay, so I would request Vedant to give his introduction. Vedant?
Sure. Yeah. Hello everyone, good afternoon. I hope you all are well in this COVID-19. What is going on in the outside? So, hello everyone, and my name is Vedant Kulkarni. I'm Ultimation certified professional, working with Trundle from last couple of years, more than 3 years. I have completed SCP 100 and 600. That's it. Moving over to Sarika.
Um, just give me a minute, Vedant. Not able to change. Yeah. So first of all, I would like to give some detail about the Trundle. So Trundle is a platinum solution partner company, and we have office on the below. We have office in Ashwali, St. Louis, and Hyderabad, and this is all about our customers. So let's move on the next slide. So first we will see what is the Script Runner. So Script Runner is a add-on that is available for all of the Atlassian tools. So today I'm going to explain about Script Runner in Jira. So Script Runner is developed by the Adaptivist. By using a Script Runner, we can extend Jira functionality to support
Hey, Sarika, I would suggest when you are presenting, just turn off your video so you would have a better
so by
reception.
using Script Runner, we can extend Jira functionality. Yeah. Yeah, sure, sir. Uh,
Go ahead, Sarika.
it's clear now.
It's still
My
breaking
voice.
at times. It's still breaking at times, but it's all right. Go ahead.
Yeah. So functionality to support your business. Yeah. So by using Script Runner, we can extend the Jira functionality to support our business process in our workflow.
I
No
think
need
Hey,
connection, Sarika.
by
Sarika, your voice is
using a Script
breaking a
Runner,
lot.
we don't to writing a pull down or other code that we can achieve it with some and some commonly used on in apart script.
Hey,
Just
Sarika,
give me a
we are
minute.
losing
Just give me
your
a minute.
audio. Yeah. Maybe Vedant, can you cover while Sarika figures the audio out?
Sure, Sajid. So this is Script Runner. It is developed by Adaptivist, and what we do using Script Runner, it actually extends the Jira's default functionality, and we can do a lot of things using Script Runner, and we can use the functionalities that are there in the Script Runner, like built-in script are there. Let me share my screen as well so that it will be, I guess Sarika dropped. So
Yeah, I think Vedant, if you could share the screen, it will be easier
sure,
to cover.
sure. Yep. Mm, I guess I need to be host for that.
I made you the host. Can you check?
Oh, yep. Okay, so let me share my screen. So, yep. So we were talking about the script runner, what exactly the script runner is. So script runner, using script runner, we can extend the current functionality of Jira, and we can write our own script in Groovy language, and also we can use the built-in script available there in the script runner installation. And script runner is available on premises Jira and Jira Cloud as well. let's move on to next slide. That what we will get after we install scriptrunner in Jira Server. So for this current session, we'll focus on the Jira Server, the scriptrunner in the Jira Server only. Jira Cloud with the scriptrunner is completely different. Different. We can, completely different way. So for now, we'll focus on Jira Server scriptrunner. We have many functionalities or features available from the scriptrunner, and you can see in the slide that the list is quite big. We have workflow utilities, scriptrunner, field behavior, listener, scripted field, and we have a couple of advanced features are there. We can make use of advanced features to write our REST endpoints and like that. So this is what with the scriptrunner what we will get. Let's move on to the next slide, that is workflow utilities. Let me double check whether Sarika is logged in, join in or not. Sarika, do you want to proceed?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. I'm clear now?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. So let me share my screen.
Sure.
I think Meghna, you have to give me access.
Hey, Sarika, maybe Vedant can just share the screen and you can just do.
Vedant, Sajid, I need to share the Jira's.
Oh, yeah, the use case killer. Go ahead.
You able to share your screen?
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
No.
I guess you need to add him as a host. Sarika, are you sharing?
No, I am not able to share still. I not have access, I think.
I have given you the access. Vedant, are you sharing right now?
Nope. I stopped the share.
I think you have the right.
No, Meghna, not yet. No.
1 second.
Hey, Meghna, remember that option on the main screen where you have to have.
I did that twice or thrice again. I don't know why it's not happening. It's not coming. Give me some time. Sorry, guys. My bad.
It still says Vedant is the host in the participants.
Yeah.
Let me try. Claim host. Okay, I'm the host now. And I'm trying to make Sarika as the host. I'm trying to make Sarika as co-host. Sarika, can you try now?
Yeah. Yes, Sajid, I have access now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Just Vedant explain us what is the scriptrunner. So this with workflow utilities here. So in workflow utilities, we will learn about how we can achieve the use our own script and
So the voice is again breaking up in between.
to make sure the user should be able to perform a transition.
Yeah, Sarika, your voice is still breaking. I think it's the internet connection.
Sorry.
That's all
Is
right.
it clear now?
Yeah, it comes and goes.
Yeah. Is it?
Whenever you say, is it all right, then it's perfect. And as soon as you start, it starts breaking. It's all right. No. Okay.
Sajid, why don't we can have a situation where somebody else is presenting this video and she can just move on and ask this other to the slides. That might really help.
Yeah, the reason Deepak, for that is, I think Sarika has a lot of information on her local host,
Okay,
where she
okay,
has
okay,
use cases. Yeah.
okay, okay. We might
Maybe Sarika,
we
what
can
we
try
can do
demo.
is, yeah, I was saying maybe we can move forward with Vedant section of the presentation, and then we can come
Mhm.
to you, Sarika. Maybe your internet will be
Yes.
better.
Yeah. That might improve a
Right?
lot.
Yeah, with everything that is going on, guys, apologies. This is something just we all are
Or
struggling with every day.
or or we can move on to other direction, which is if she can share the backup of her Jira with the Vedant, and he can also install that new instance of Jira and can import that backup, and we
Oh,
can work on
No,
that will not work. I don't think that's going to
that
work.
will take a lot of time. I think
Yeah.
Vedant, you can go on with
Yeah,
your.
Vedant, you can go ahead, and I've made you a co-host as well, Vedant, so you should be able to share your screen.
Sure, Sajid. What we will do otherwise, I'll just share my screen and Sarika will work on explaining the.
Yeah,
Let's do that.
yeah.
That would great.
Go ahead. It's
Sarika,
all right.
I'll
This happens
yeah.
all the time.
I'm audible now, Sajid
Yes, you
and
You
are
are.
Vedant.
audible.
See,
Now,
once you
right?
stop sharing, it's audible.
Let,
Okay, so Vedant, can you please share
yeah,
the workflow utilities page? Yeah.
sure.
So in a workflow utilities today, we will see how can we use condition validation and post function, and how can we use a custom script and build script, and in how many how many ways that we can achieve the automation from the workflow utilities. So I have some pre-configured condition validation and post function that I will show it to you. So Vedan, let me share my screen again. If the same issue will happen, then we can share it on your end. I'll change my
Okay.
network now.
Sure.
Okay. Uh, I will share my Jira screen for better clarity. Um,
No, Sarika.
Not working, Sarika.
It's not working. Let's go back to the same. Sarika, it's not. Yeah, we're not able to hear you. You sound like a AI robot.
Yeah.
No.
It's all right. Vedant, you go ahead.
Sorry.
Sure.
Yeah, stop sharing.
Yeah. Apologies, guys. This happens all the time. Okay. You're used to it now. This is our new ways of working. Vedant, are
Let
you
me,
there?
sure,
Go.
yeah.
Go.
So Sarika, I have shared the screen, so you can, I guess it will be a better for you to just walk us
Sure.
through on the workflow
It's
utilities.
clear.
Okay.
My voice is clear now, right, team?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Vedant, can you please click on conditions?
Sure.
Yeah. So hi team. So here we can check all of the workflow utilities related to condition. So here we have an option of script conditions. Then can you please click on it? Yeah. Okay, so this is the options that we have, and we can do we can use this 5 option to do the automation here by using a condition utilities. So there is a option like simple scripted condition, custom script condition, all subtasks must be resolved. So this can help us in somehow. First option is like simple scripted condition. Here some simple ready scriptings are available, and we can use that. In a custom script condition, you can write your own custom script and you can run it. Third option is all subtasks must be resolved, where you can check where you can check this particular close option should get visible until your all subtask is not closed. Okay, so we can do that kind of. So let's see how we can configure that. Well, then can you please click on simple script condition?
Sure. Simple script. Okay.
Yeah, first one. Yeah, pick anyone. uh, Show. Yeah, so this is the option that we have ready available in a condition. where you can use your where you can pick like project key equals to XYZ, or if you want this particular condition to work for a specific use or a specific group, that also you can. So Vedan, can you please go down? Yeah, there is a reporter. Yeah, so this all the ready script are available, and we can use that. If you want to restrict until you will not have two subtasks in this particular issue, you cannot do this transition. So we can use has greater than two subtask option, has string custom field value equals to. So this already options are available that you can use it. And there is option preview issue key, and you can test it here. What is the output of the result? Let's suppose you have issue key, so you can paste it and it will give you the result. This particular condition is true or false for this particular option. So let's suppose here Vedant is doing testing for 86. Okay, so what is the result? It is showing result evaluated to false. It means if because the condition is false, you cannot see the transition. Okay, so we can do this simple scripted conditions from here. Yeah, there is a option of custom script condition. Vedant, second option. Yeah. So here you can write your inline scripting. Here in Atlassian custom on a script runner documentation, some inline scripting option we have. Uh, uh, so we can write it here. Yeah, this is the section where you can write your custom script and custom code to run if you don't want to use any simple scripted options. Okay, a third option is all subtasks must be resolved. Yeah, Vidhan, can you please click here? Yeah, so this is the option that we need somehow. Let's suppose we have a scenario where I want a particular resolution of my subtask. Let's suppose I want my this particular transition button should get display if the resolution of all my subtasks is implemented. Okay, we can create and we can select the resolution from here. So it can help us to use any other resolution also. We can create our custom resolutions also, and we can use it. And we can block our parent issue from the resolution of the subtask. So it is a very good feature that we need for our day-to-day activity. Yeah. Yeah. Allow the transition if this query matches to a JQL query. Yeah, Vedant, click on this. Yeah, so here we have options like if I wanted to restrict this particular issue based on some certain condition, like this particular issue should have custom fields value equals to ABC. So I can put like custom field equals to ABC, issue type should be task or something. I can use any of the JQL query. If this particular issue will fall in this query, then only this particular condition will work. Okay, so let's suppose I have like Vedant configure issue type equals to task. Okay, so if this particular issue is if the particular issue type is task, then only this particular transition you can see. So this can help us in it totally depends how do you want to use this. So it is also very important conditions that from a script runner that we need in day-to-day activities. And here are the option preview issue key where we can do a testing also. Vedant, can you please click on cancel? Check the issue has been in status previously. So I will give you a scenario that I have prepared in my local, but I couldn't present it to you. So let me explain it. So let's suppose I have a 3 departments like in progress, development, and testing. Okay, so let's suppose I want to give a all these 3 department a transition kind of hold. Anytime they can hold their activity. Okay, so I gave a common transition like a hold. Okay, and from hold the logic should be when you are in progress, and from in progress you will come to hold, and from hold you will have again 3 options to go in different transition. Like from hold you can go to in progress, from hold you can go on testing, from hold you can do you can go to development. But at one time one option should get enabled. It means your customer requirement is if I am came to hold from in progress, I should go back to in progress only. I should not have option to go back on testing, and I should not have option to go in a testing or development status. Okay, so here we can do the restriction. We can check what was my last previous status. So here, let's suppose I have in progress. I have selected what should be my previous status. So what I have did here, from hold, I have created 3 outgoing transition. The name is go to in progress, go to development, go to testing. Okay, and in progress I'm testing. On the in progress transition, I am uh, uh, from in progress testing, I am showing like uh, my previous status should be in progress, then only this particular back to progress option should be there. Okay, in a testing I could back from hold to back to testing option, I have configured my previous status should be in testing. So based on that, from a same status we can create multiple outgoing transition, and at one time we can show one transition from hold. Okay, so here is the option like immediate previous option, previous only, which shows ki we are just checking the last previous option. Okay, if you will not check this, it will check, it will assume like in all over the workflow step your status was in progress, so it will be wrong. Okay, so we need to use immediate previous option as per the requirement. Some scenario it will be needed, but the scenario that I have present in that, I should click on immediate previous option only. So from here I can restrict from hold to in progress and in progress to hold. From this scenario I have covered the number of transition and number of status creation. Otherwise I need to create an option like hold testing, hold development, hold progress kind of thing. So I have used a common status and give a multiple transition, and I'm controlling from the scripted. Yeah. So this all about the conditions here. Vedan, can you please go back on validation list? Yeah. So here we have a script validation option, and this is the below list option that we can do it in a validations. Same here, we can write a custom script validator, simple script validator that is readily available. Then field change validator, require a comment on transition, kind of this option that I have. So let's check first about simple scripted validator, Vedant. Second option. Yeah. Yeah, so click on show snippets. Yeah, so team, here we have all of the ready built-in options available that we can use in a built-in validator. So like project key is equals to xyz, it means when you are putting a validator, your project key should be this, then only you can perform this transition. It means this particular transition is not allowed for this issue type. Priority is major, so here also, like let's see, we have we gave one transition like a priority, like escalate manager. Okay, but the priority should be major, then only you can do this transition. Okay, so we can use it when we need it based on where we wanted to validate based on priority. Issue type is defect. Vedan, can you please click once? Yeah. Issue type is defect. So here I can you can see issued or issue type name equals to bug. So you can restrict it or validate it. Your issue type is your issue type is particular bug or not. If bug, then only you can allow to do this transition. Reporter is a current user, so you can restrict for the reporter assignee, kind of that scenario also is available. Has greater than 2 subtasks, where a scenario like you wanted to restrict this particular validation for this particular transition, it needs 2 subtasks should be there into your parent issue, then you allowed to do this transition. Has string custom field value equals to particular some value, like I want my string value equals to abc. If you not have updated if you have not that value, then you're not allowed to do this transition. Has select list custom field value equals to with some values, multi-select list contains some values, cascading. So all of the field option is readily available and you can configure it. Cascading, then issue linking, there is option has at least one out but duplicate link. Yeah, we then configure this once. Yeah. Yeah, so here you want this particular issue should have one of the link issue, and a link name should be a duplicate or some any name that you can copy here. So it will work accordingly. So this is for the issue linking part. Has one or more attachment here, one option where you want this particular issue should have at least one attachment or some specific kind of attachment like PDF, like document, Excel sheet. Based on that also you can restrict it. Current user is a member of administrator role. It means ki this particular transition is allowed for a specific project role, not for group. So project role based also you can configure. Has at least one PDF attachment, or where you can restrict for the PDF attachment or attachment type. Assignee change workflow function, priority change to major, priority change to minor. So this all option that is readily available if you want to use uh, priority based on priority change to major, priority change to major listener. So in future I will in the next topic I will cover the listeners part as well. So here is the option that you can use readily in a condition. There is a one more option is there, error message. Okay, so error message can help me to explain the user where the error is. Let's suppose I have given the condition this particular attachment should have at least one PDF attachment. So I can write here my error message like, user, you should have attached one PDF attachment, and I want this particular error message to come when on the attachment field itself. So in the next option of field, you can select the attachment option as well. So that's all about the simple scripted validation. So from here, you can do a lot of things. So all options are available here. Vedan, can you please go back? Yeah. Yeah. So fields change validator we have now. So this is also one important validator option we have. So I will give you a scenario. Let's suppose when a team is creating a issue, they will fill some like you have created one text field like issue, and when they are creating a issue in that custom field, they have added some detail like issues related to development team kind of thing. Okay, and when from development to testing I am passing it, right, I want this value should get changed. So on this particular transition, I have configured one screen, and on that particular screen, all of the custom field that you have added on the screen that will come automatically in the field screen. Okay, so from here you have configured like attachment, like some text field, and you want this value to be changed. So you can pick here, you can select it, and you can update it. So this function will work accordingly. It means when you are doing this transition, the value should change. If you will use existing value, it won't allow you to do this particular transition. Vedan, can you please click on control? Yeah, so this is about field change. Now let's see about require a transition on validator. Let's require a comment on the transition. So this option will help us to restrict when you are closing a issue, when you are doing any kind of status change, and you want this comment to be added every time. So you can use this option and you can write a note for your understanding why you have, what kind of data that you want to capture here in a comment. So like that note also you can right here. Custom script validator, we then go on top. Yeah, so here is the inline scripting option, and you can write it your own script. And this inline scripting, there is some ready APIs are available on a Atlassian, or not on Atlassian, sorry, script runner documentation. You can use that, and which can help you to write your own custom script as well here. So this is a very common option that the developer mostly use. Instead writing a complete plugin to do the simple activity, they can write their own scripting here. Yeah, so this is all about the condition and validation we have speak. Now let's see what the post function options we have here. Yeah. Uh, so this is the option place where you can select the script post function, and you can pick any of the post function. So here we have a very huge list of post. We can set a post function where you will have a huge list as compared to condition and validation. This is the most important part of the script runner where we can do a lot of automation. Like when you're doing this particular transition, what should happen? Okay, so this is a place where you will take a decision. Like if you want, when I'm doing this transition, some kind of update should happen, like it should assign to some other user, auto subtask should get created, issue should get cloned. So all of these options are readily available, or templates are available, and you can use that. But then can you go down? We'll go from bottom to top. Yeah. Adds a comment on linked issue when this issue is transition. It means you want, whenever you are doing this particular transition and you want a particular linked issue should have added some of the comment. Let's suppose I have a linked issue like a blocker, and when when I'm closing my current issue, I want a blocker issue should have updated some of the comment, sorry. So here you can write some condition, like you don't want to update this particular comment on every transition. Some specific condition are there, like when your priority of this particular issue is major, then only you want this comment to be added. Okay, so you can do the condition. If your condition is satisfied, and then particular action will happen. This is the option of all of the conditions we have. And here from the issue link type, we need to select. Let's suppose this current issue have so many type of linked issue, like duplicates, relates to, blocked by, clones to, kind of. But I wanted to update a specific kind of linked issue. Let's suppose I want duplicates linked issue to updated a comment. Okay, so I will pick a issue link type, and I can select I can write the comment in a below text. Vedant, can you please pick one? Yeah, and I can write a comment details here, like there is some ready templates are also available, and we can write a comment like blocking issue ABC resolve with resolution field, where you want this particular field is get where you are saying to this duplicates issue, like this particular issues get resolved, uh, blocking issue, or some kind of custom message that you can send it to. You can custom comment that you can add it on a linked issue. So this is also a very useful option that we will need. Okay, there is a second is set issue security level depending on a provided condition. So this is also very important option, I will say. There is a scenario that I have faced where I have multiple team involvement are there in this particular issue, like 4 or 5 teams are there which is going to work on this particular issue. What I have did here, for each team I have created a security level, and when my particular transition on one state, let's suppose when I am in development, I have configured a security level development. So only development related team can only see this issue. Okay. Let's suppose when I'm transiting from development, I'm sending it to testing. By using this function, I will change the security level from development to testing team. So this can help us to maintain a visibility in a project in a single issue type, where multiple teams are there, but I wanted to restrict for some set of teams only. So I can change the security level by using this option. Here also we have condition option, like here also we have conditions option, like how can I when the security level should change. Let's suppose if my issue priority is not issue, yeah, my issue priority is low, and I don't want it to go it on a testing or development. I can directly want to close this, so I will not change it. I will directly send it to testing, and from there it will automatically get closed. So this particular security level will work according to your condition. Okay, so here also we have some ready built-in conditions are available that will help you to configure that also. Yeah, Vedant, can you close this? Yeah. So next option we have send a custom email. That is also good feature, I will say. So here we have option like where so I will give you a scenario. I have one issue type like bug. Okay, and based on a priority, based on my priority option, the email triggering will change. Let's suppose if my issue priority is higher or highest, I wanted to send this particular mail to a specific team member. Let's suppose if my issue priority is highest, then I wanted to send a mail to Meghna. If my issue priority is medium, I wanted to send a notification email to Sajid. If my priority is low or kind of thing, so I want to send a notification to Vedant. So I can do this kind of configuration. So here we have a condition option. So in a condition, I can Vedant, can you please click on show snippets? So here, based on priority, based on any of the custom field value, you can configure a condition. Okay, and it will work accordingly what you are configuring here. So once your condition is true or successful, then this particular email will trigger. Now to send an email, we need to give some data like email template, subject template. Then can you please click on email template? Yeah, workflow transition button, where you want this email email template should send. Template means the body of the email indirectly, where you want this particular buttons to be added into there on an email body. So you can use here, you can write your subject, you can write your custom subject template also, where you, if you want to pass some script, where you want to pass custom fields value, any specific detail from a issue, you can write that level of scripting also. The important thing and a good thing about the email configuration is it will read your email formatting also. We have a option, email format option like plain text, HTML. It means hello, when you're selecting a plain text, so the content will go it as a text only. But if you're selecting a HTML, and you can add your HTML text also, like if you want a particular table formatting, so you can write a table tag, TD tag, and you can write your, so you can design your complete table by using HTML and scripting data. So we need to set an email formatting also here. The next option we have is to address. It means we can add we can set a option like to address, where I want this particular mail. Let's suppose I have configured my, if my priority is major or higher, the Meghna should get notified. So I can write here Meghna email ID. If with Meghna I wanted to send couple of more people this email, I can write a comma separated email IDs. Or instead of email IDs, if you have any custom field which hold this custom which hold this email ID details, you can pick any of the custom fields option also. There is an option where you can add a CC address, CC issue field, include CC, and where you can pick CC details from a custom field. That option also we have. One more option we have here, include attachment, where I want particular attachment should get sent when you are triggering an email. So here you can write your custom attachment detail, like a custom attachment detail. It means I want a particular I want to send a particular file which have the file name equals to abc.pdf. Okay, apart from that, all we have option like we can include attachment none. If you don't want to send any kind of attachment, new attachment, it means the latest attachment that we have added on a transition, that all attachment, custom attachment callback. uh, yeah, Vidhan, can you please click on show snippets? Yeah, so include only PDF attachment, include PDF added this transition, only files that are less than 1 MB. So there is some ready options are available. Okay, reply to email address, so you can use on which email ID you want the user to reply. Preview issue key, preview issue key will help you to do the testing. Disable validation if you don't want it to do any kind of validation. Okay, so this is all about the email template and email sending by post function. This is the regular used option, I will say, that every email use. So in a custom email, based on priority, you can write a number of custom emails options that you can pick. If you want based on priority, you can do that. You can send a different template to different user. Let's suppose I want a specific email to Meghna, I want a specific mail to go to Sajid or other team members. So I can write hi team, hi Sajid, hi Vedan. So based on that, I can configure that. I can use the issue related field like reporter, assignee. So that already available script are available. Yeah. Transition parent when all subtasks are resolved. It means you want a transition. You want this particular transition to happen when all subtasks are resolved. So this option will help you in subtasks where you want. I will give you a scenario where you want, you have created a multiple huge list of subtasks, and you want all of, so the problem statement is when all of the subtasks will get closed, someone needs to come manually and needs to close the parent issue, right? But for that we need to give a continuous watching, like when which subtask is not closed, so we need to check that. So by using this functionality, I can configure like when all of my subtasks will get closed, okay, my subtask will got closed, automatically my parent issue should get closed. Okay, so here I can set a condition like for which particular subtask this condition you can set, like if my subtask belongs to any specific type, then only this condition should work. Okay, let's suppose you have created 3-4 different type of subtasks, like subtask 1 I'm saying issue type in a subtask, so you have configured 2-3 different type of subtask issue type. Okay, but you want this particular condition to run, so it means when the subtask type A, all of the subtasks will get closed, automatically your parent action should get triggered. It means you have to pick a parent workflow, the transition you want to do. Okay, so Vidhan, can you please pick any of the, yeah, so there is option close issue. Yeah, so here you need to select your workflow name first, and second one option is you need to configure your workflow and you need to click a transition name from here. Remember, each transition name can be a different. Let's suppose you have configure close issue, but might be this is related to some other workflow. So it is good tips. It is a good if you will select a proper workflow and then you pick up your transition name. Okay, so when what does it means? Whenever your particular condition is satisfied, then your parent action will happen. Okay, it means some update will happen on a parent ticket, and there is an option to set a resolution where you can set a resolution of a parent issue, like let's suppose when your all subtask of will got closed, you want that parent action should your parent action should get triggered, and this particular resolution should set, so you can pick and you can configure it accordingly. So this can help you to auto close or auto transiting from one level to another your parent from a subtask. Yeah. Yeah, next topic, Vidhan. So now we have learned about transition parent when all subtasks. Now post a message to Slack. This option can help you to post a message to a Slack. So you need to integrate your Slack with the Jira, and you can write on which room you wanted to get notified, to whom you wanted to notify, what is should be your message template. So that will help you to send a specific notification. Sometime I seen your team will configure a complete project with the Slack, and unnecessary update will come, that can be that some of the person will miss, so we can send it here, target room. Okay, so this is also an important thing. There is option fire an event when condition is true. So here I will give you a scenario where we want I want like when my priority is low, I don't want it to send it for QA. Okay, from development, it should directly go to close. I don't want that. So what I have set a condition, I will set a condition like show snippets. In a condition, I will set if priority equals to low, automatically in the parent, in the current workflow, this particular event should get triggered. Okay, let's suppose when I'm sending it to development to testing and I feel the priority is low, I don't want it to send it to testing, I will directly send it to close. So this can help you to do the uh, uh, sorry, okay, no, I think I have explained something wrong here. This is about event triggering, sorry. So here you can trigger a event actually help you to do a to send a notification based on event. You can send a specific type of notification, so this will help you to do the event triggering. So we have a complete list. So if you want if you are on a transition screen, okay, you have captured some kind of comment and you want this comment notification should get triggered. Okay, so here what the comment we will select issue comment at event we will configure. Okay, so which will help user to which will help user to understand, okay, on this particular transition this particular comment it happened. Okay, uh, uh, yeah, so this is all about the fire an event when a condition is true. Faster transition on an issue. So this is what I was trying to explain previously. So here we have options like here we have an option like I gave the scenario, like if my priority is low, it should directly go from test development to close. So here in a condition, I can configure if priority equals to low. Action, I can pick a action of the workflow. Like I want testing, I want it to get closed. So I can pick a action detail also. Additional issue action. Vedan, can you please click on show snippets? Yeah, so here in a condition you can configure this ready built-in functions. You can configure your condition. In an additional issue action, you can configure like when this particular action is happening, if you want to update issue summary, if you want to update any field detail, if you want to add any kind of comment, if you want to add any kind of thing on an issue, you can use the additional issue action option also. Okay, so this all about the fire and event, fire and transition. Okay, there is an option of transition option where you want all of this permission and validation condition should get skipped. So you can select that. If you want when I'm doing this particular transition, okay, and in a close there is an option like when you are trying to close an issue, there is a validator like you have to update the resolution, but you want to skip that validation because we are trying to update the resolution from an additional issue action. Okay, so you can use that also. Okay, so here is the option we have now. uh, Create a subtask. Yeah, so this option can help you to understand, it can help you to create a subtask automatically. Let's suppose a scenario will be there where with this particular issue some 3 or 4 subtasks should be there for some set of user. Let's suppose when you are dividing, let's suppose I gave an option like divide into a team. Let's suppose I'm in testing and I wanted to divide this particular task into within a 4 member. Okay, that 4 members are a specific member which is going to work on the particular condition. So here also we can use a condition like if issue priority is highest, and when I'm dividing it into 4 members of team, it should get auto subtask should get created, 4 subtasks should get created, 4 subtasks should get auto assigned to this 4 specific person. Okay, so you can do that kind of configuration here. In a condition you can configure here project key, priority, issue type. Based on that condition you can configure target issue type here. So in a target issue type option we can set like which kind of subtask that you want to create. So we can, if we have created multiple subtasks, the option will come here. So here I have just one issue type related to subtask, so one drop down option came here. You can set up a subtask summary here. Fill to copy option, this is a very good option I will say, where you are saying a system or a script where how many fields that you want to copy when you are creating a subtask. So if you want all of the data that are in parent, it should get copied in a subtask, then it will help you. There is the option of none. It means you don't want any of the field to copy it from parent to child, then you can select a none. Here you have option of custom, where you can pick any specific custom field. Let's suppose I want priority should copy it from parent to child, so you can select a custom option and you can Vidhan, can you please click on custom? Yeah, fill to copy option. Yeah, here. So here when you select a custom, you will have a list of option of custom field will be available. Okay, so you can pick any of the custom field detail from here. As a user option also we have here. So this fill to copy option will help you to copy a specific field. Okay, not all field. As a user, yeah, here I seen one question like we can configure a multiple custom fields also to be copied when we are parent to child. If you want 4 or 5 type of custom fields should get copied, you can pick a number of custom fields as well. Okay, as a user options we have here, you want this particular post function, this will execute, it will create a subtask. So which user login the user that will run as, it means from which user login you want to run that. So automatically it will create a transition. So when let's suppose I'm running this transition from my email ID, okay, and I want a particular subtask should get created or run as a Vedant login. So I can pick here a Vedant email. So this can help us to pick a user and we can configure that. Okay. Additional issue action option also we have. So in additional issue action, you can have some specific kind of data that you want to set in a subtask, like custom field specific value. Okay. Pop-up messages, append like custom field. Apart from that, you want to put any specific summary, a combination of parent and child. Okay, so if my parent, there is an option of append parent source issue summary within this option. Yeah, second last. Yeah, second last. Yeah. So can you please add this? So what it will do? It will issue dot summary equals. It means this is the issue dot summary. It means subtask issue summary. Okay, where I am writing new task colon source issue summary. Let's suppose your source issue name is ABC. So the summary of my subtask will be new task ABC. Okay. This about the additional issue action. Subtask action also we have here now, where you want this particular action should get triggered. When you're creating a subtask, it should trigger this action. So you can pick your action detail also from here. And this is all about the subtask creation from a post function. Vedant, can you please click next? Here we have an option of clone and issue and link. This is also an important feature. Like you can do a auto issue creation in other project, and you can clone an issue, and you can create a linked issue here. And here also we have option like conditions, target projects. It means condition you can configure, like in this particular scenario only this particular issue linked issue should get linked issue should create. Okay, so this will help you to understand that also. We have option of condition. Here the next option we have target project, where you want this particular linked issue should triggered in which project. Let's suppose I am creating a issue into different project, like there is a project like CG Ops. Okay, so this option can help you to define in which project and which issue type you want to create. Okay, from this linked issue. So here we have an option of target project, target issue type. Okay, so if you are selected a CG Ops project and which issue type, so there is option of target issue type also. We have option of field to copy, the same way what we seen in a post function. If you want to copy all of the field, some of the field, if you don't want to copy any field, that also options you have. When you're creating a clone or a linked issue, you want all of the comment of this issue should get copied, so we have option of copy comment. Same option we have as user. It means which user is going to run to this activity. It means ki when you are doing this particular transition, it will say Vedant, I have configured Vedant name here, right? So when we are creating a subtask, we will say Vedant have created a subtask. Okay, so it will help you to understand this. Okay, there is option like additional issue action. We have option of additional issue action, where we can set custom field value, custom summary detail, custom field, all of the options that if you want to add any field detail, summary detail, any of the update you want to do in that issue, that also you can do it from additional issue action. Next topic we have like next option we have like issue link. Yeah. Okay, so here we can define which issue. When you are creating a linked issue, we need to give some kind of link. Okay, so there is option like when an issue get created, it should link with the clone, it should link with duplicate. So kind of link direction also you can select here. So it will help you to create a cloned issue and linked issue in a same project as well as different project also. Okay, Vidhan, can you please go back on the list again? So now we have learned about cloned issue. Now next point is assign to first member of role, which will help you to auto assign this particular issue from a user role. Let's suppose you have configured a project role development team. Okay, in a development team, you want this particular issue should get assigned automatically to a last member of a role. So you need to select the role development and who will be the last member in the team, in the role. The issue will get auto assigned to that user. Okay, so this can help you to auto, in a helping part based on project condition. Here also we have condition like when any priority is highest, then only it should get assigned to last member. When the priority is low, then it should assign to another team member, kind of thing you can configure here. Vedant, can you go back? Vedant, can you go back on the list again? Yeah. Same way we have condition, we have member, first team member, kind of things. Okay, so the next option we have add the current user as a watcher. Last third, yeah. So add a current user as a watcher, where you want is currently logged in user should be added as a watcher. So it will help. Let's suppose I want this. So let's suppose the particular want Vedant to get notified for each update on the transition. Let's suppose we have developed a huge complex workflow, and Vedant don't wanted to get a notification before when it is in testing. Vedant want to get notification from testing levels, or not from development or before that. Okay, so while we are doing a testing transition, we will add Vedant as a watcher. From now, Vedant will get notified for all of the updates. So here we can save some unnecessary emails, and Vedant will get notified what he wants. Okay, so watcher idea can help you here to save from unnecessary email triggering. Yeah, Vedant, can you go back? Add remove from a sprint. This option can help you where you want this particular issue. If the particular issue is related, if let's suppose your issue is linked as a duplicate, okay, and your parent issue is get the linked issue of the duplicate is get closed. Okay, and you want when the issue is get closed, this issue should get removed from the sprint. So you can pick any kind of condition, and you can pick a action name. You want to add this sprint, you want to remove it from the sprint, you can give a board name here. Okay, you can give a board name, so it will help you to let's suppose I have a scrum board, and I want when I will do this particular transition, let's suppose rejected by the team. Okay, so it means I want this particular issue from the scrum board. It should automatically remove when the team is rejecting this issue. So when I will do, it will auto remove it from the sprint also. Act as a current user. If you are doing this particular activity, which user you want to run, okay, the sprint will not change. Act as of the other user. You want to run it as a other user or not, that kind of configuration you can do here. Return user to execute us. Let's suppose if you are running this particular transition on behalf of Vedant, but Vedant not have the access of that issue, then you cannot do this particular transition. So here we need to select act as the other user. So no, the sprint will not be changed if the user does not have permission to schedule this issue. Yes, the action of adding. So let's suppose if you're running, so let's suppose I am doing this transition, okay, but I not have access, so I cannot do this. But if you are if you are trying to configure it from a Vedant login, okay, so here we have option return user to execute us, and here we have some ready code like named user, project lead. So here in a named user, you can configure from which user login you wanna do this particular activity. So it will take care automatically your permission screen part. So this all about the this all about this add and remove option from script. Custom script post function. This is also important option, I will say, where you can write your custom script you want to update any of the data with some of this logic. Like let's suppose I wanted to update a custom field, a text custom field, which should have the value of some specific value should have. It means it should show me some kind of calculation. So you can write your inline script, and you can update a custom field value also from here. So this can help you to write a custom script. So here we have learned about the custom post functions also. So this is all about the workflow utilities, Vedant. Vedant, can you go on a slide again?
Sure.
Yeah. So now today we have learned about the about the workflow utilities. Let's see about the field behavior. For field behavior, I need to share my screen. Give me a let's check if my side if it is not work, then we can skip this topic and I can present something else. I'm sharing my screen, Vedant.
Okay.
Are you all able to see my screen?
Not yet. Yes. Yes.
Yep.
It's there.
Yeah. Okay. So I have created some of the scenario in a field behavior. Okay. So in a behavior, what behavior does? Behavior, it means ki how I want my custom field to work. Let's suppose I want, let's say I will show you the scenario, what I have created here. I want this particular one custom field is there, description. And I want description, it should come automatically with some of the default template. Okay. Okay. So I can set up some kind of specific description here. If I want based on one custom field value, okay, based on deployment custom field value option. If I'm selecting a yes, it means the other custom field value should pop up and should be required. Okay, if I'm selecting a no, then this field should not be required. So this is all of the field behavior that I have already configured in my local, and I will show it to you how exactly it will work. I have created one more scenario where I have configured a approver user picker field, and I want this approver field should be mandatory for a specific group role or a specific user. It means when I logged in from my account, approver is not mandatory. But if I will log in as a Vedant login for Vedant, approver is a required option. Okay, so let's see how I have configured all of this option. Okay, I've configured 3 scenarios here, pre-populated template. Okay. So I will show you how I have configured this. So here, first of all, we need to do the mapping of the issues. It means you want this particular behavior to run on which project and which issue type. So I can select here the project name, I can select here the issue type details also, and I can save it. So you can see I have configured it for demo project and task issue type. Behavior setting. Here behavior setting, you can set up a name, description, user validator plugin. So I have not used any of this option. I have used a field. So in a field, I have selected a description field. Okay, and I have write a simple script like define description get filled by IT, where you are setting a template. Template means some ready kind of where you can, if you want this particular description should have table, so kind of template that you can create by using this option. So you can have automatically name, priority, description. This all option will be available here. So I will show it to you. Just give me a minute. Yeah, so you can see I have selected a issue type task. So this is the description it came. So template begin below name, priority, description. So here it is coming from here where I have configured H2 the template. I have given it defined the tags, which tag should come. So I have wiki style rendering I'm using totally here. So it will add some default template on some specific issue type. So it can help you to, if you want this particular template to be run in some, not for this issue type, but it should run for some different issue type. Let's suppose for task you have different template, for bug you have different template. So it will help you to do this. Okay, this is about the description where I'm setting a default template. Let's see the another use case here. This is the option of field behavior, field required. Okay, field required where I have configured a field approver. Okay, let me show login as a Vedant, so I can show it to you how exactly it will work.
Hey Sarika, I just wanted to give a quick time check. I think we are 1 hour in, so
okay.
This is going great. I mean, we can, come to the
Yeah,
topic.
sure. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
All right.
sure.
Thank you.
Here we have an option of field behavior, where I want this approver field should be mandatory for some set of user, where I set it a condition for Vedant it should be mandatory. So required writable, it should be hidden. So kind of options that we have here. So this is all about the controlling of required field for some users and group. Okay, there is an option of field required based on other field value, so you can do that kind of configuration also. So here we have option like I want based on deployment step or value, it should be it should this deployment step a text field should come when a deployment drop down have a yes value to you, yes, so then this option is coming it as a required. So this all about the behavior we have learned. We'll go for remaining topic. So I will give you how the people says listener and post function are almost similar. Okay, so how the listeners work and how the post function will work on transition basis, but your listeners will work on a event and on a complete project at all. Okay, so this is a common difference between listener and post function. If you will see the complete list we have seen already in a post function, like a send a custom email, post a message to a Slack. This option we have tested already in a post function. Let me show it to you how the listeners work. So in a listeners we need to select the project, we need to select the events. Okay, so if I want whenever any issue is got moved, okay, so I will select the issue moved event, and I want whenever any issue moved event is happening, this particular user should get notified for specific condition, not for all issue moved events. So you can do this kind of option also. Okay, so this can help you to define your listeners based on any condition or based on the event also. So the complete listeners list are almost similar what we seen in a post function. So I'm not covering this because we have time constraint. So I will request Vedant to take care the next point now.
Sure, Sarika, let me share my screen. So, so we talked about listener. So let's move on to the next slide that we have is built-in script. So till now here we discuss about built-in scripts or built-in templates that are available using we can make use of the built-in templates in the workflows. With that, we can also have a built-in script for advanced administration of our work. So for that, you will need to navigate to the Manage Apps section, and you will have a complete list of features provided by Script Runner. So you can see here, browse under the browse option, you will have all the options listed here as a built-in templates. And we using the along with the built-in templates, you will have jobs, listener, and these kind of templates, behaviors with that, and the listener. Just now Sarika explained about these two features. So let's move on to built-in scripts. So you can see the list is quite big. So for time being, we will try to cover popular use cases of built-in scripts and I mean readily available templates. So one of the popular use cases is switch to a different user. You might get into the scenario or situation when you, as a Jira admin, when you want to investigate or troubleshoot a problem for a specific user. And with that, if you want to update anything on behalf of particular user, then you only need to select this particular template as a switch to a different user and select a particular user. Just by selecting it and running this particular template, you will have a link to logged into particular user account. So you can see here, if I clicked on this particular link, I will logged in as a Sarika's account. I can do anything using this particular account and logged in as Sarika. If I want to go back to my admin account, either I can just log out from this account, or I can just click on this particular link, return to your session. So it will redirect me to the dashboard page where dashboard page of my logged in. So this is how we switch to a different user and we troubleshoot. So basically, a problem when you get into a situation when you want to troubleshoot a problem for a particular user, you can use a built-in script for that. Then next we have when you want to view a server logs. So this is bit as a kind of server side that if you don't have a backend level of access or backend access of system, you are only a Jira admin or you are handling of all these application from the UI end, then you can use this view server logs feature, and you can select a log file and you can troubleshoot or investigate a problem based on your requirement. You just need to hit the run and you will get all the log details using this particular built-in scripts. Then you can also have copy project is one of the very good feature of this function, this add-on. Copy project, where you can copy data from source project. You can just need to select, you only need to select source project and provide a destination project or the target project key. So these two are required field, that is target project key and project name, and these rest of the details are optional details. If you want to copy issues from source project to target project, you can also do that, and rest of the things are optional. So you can just need to you just need to hit the run button, and that's it. You will have a readily available or copied project, target project, using the source project. We will also have a template called as a copy custom field values, where we want to copy field values from source field to target field. Generally, what we do, if we don't have a script runner, then we fire a JQL query, and we will need to use the bulk operation and do the edit option and select the edit option and do the copying field from source field to target field. But in that case, if we have a add-on like a script runner and we can use this functionality, it will this will save a lot of time, because you just need to select a filter and you just need to select a source field and target field over there. So but only thing here that we need to consider is that the source field and target field must be of a same type. So this is one drawback of this feature, that we cannot have we cannot copy different field type I mean, we cannot copy values from a select list to a text field, or a text list to a text field to a multi-select field. But it will save us a lot of time. um, so this is regarding the copy project. And there are so many built-in scripts are available. You can explore it using a script node documentation. For time being, let's move on to next topic that we have. Let's go back to the slide that we have. It's script field. Scripted field is a very popular feature of this add-on, where it will be it will be a same as a custom field, but you can run your code and to calculate a particular what we can say, to provide a calculated fields, or to provide a calculated data inside a field. Then you can use a scripted field feature. With that, if you want to pull out some data from external database and you want to show it on a particular field, you can also use for that you can also use the scripted field. If you navigate to the scripted fields, you will see the create script field button, and you will have all the list here. And using that, you can I mean, using these templates, you can create a scripted field. So I have created few use cases from that. I'll try to explain what exactly scripted field and how we can use it here. So let me just navigate to the target project. I have created one custom scripted field. I have written a Groovy code inside that, and what it does that it will it will calculate epics. It will calculate stories under one epic. So let's suppose I have a use case that for example, I don't have the script runner, and but I want to calculate what are the stories linked to a particular epic. And if you see, I have so many stories linked to a particular epic. What I generally do, I will hit the JQL query and get the total linked tickets to that particular epic, and then I need to either export to a particular function or export to Excel or that kind of feature, and then count the total stories. But using the scripted field, I have written a Groovy script, and you can see that total linked issues to this particular epic is 32. And we can also divide into, or we can modify the solution in a better way, that what are the stories that are done, that the state is done, or what are the stories are in progress. Or later on we can also differentiate using the issue type basis, because some team follows some team follows a way that epic under the epic they will have stories, task, bug. So like that we can also further modify this particular script, where total linked issues will be directly calculated here, and and later on we can further modify a particular script using a scripted field. With that, we can also make use of default templates that we have, like number of times in a status a particular issue is traveled from one status to another status, and we need to calculate whether how many times that particular issue moved from that particular uh, status. Then we can make use of this template, that is number of times in a status. So let's quickly check this field. You can see that number of times in the backlog status I have just configured this scripted field. And if you can see that the 2 is the count that it is representing that the particular bug is opened or is moved to backlog for 2 times. Now if I selecting I'm moving it as a done, and again I'm moving it to backlog, then what it will do, it will represent the next count of this bug. So it will directly give us a count that three times it was in a backlog status, or the bug was in a backlog. So it will be very helpful for people who want to make a decision for a developer team. If a developer is working on that bug, how many times the particular bug was in a open state or backlog state. So this kind of feature we can use it using scripted field. And there are database picker and LDAP picker field are also there, where you will need help from DB admin, either DB admin to configure database picker field, pull it from the external database and show it on your scripted field. And you will also need someone from LDAP admin, where you want to you will need to configure, or you will need to pull out some data which can be related to your employee data. For example, you want to pull out data related to a user having their manager or hierarchy of a user. Then you can pull out that data and show it on a scripted field and use it across the project. So these kind of use cases we can achieve using data picker and LDAP picker field. Let's move to next slide. What we have, JQL function. So JQL function, you know, sometimes it get confused, and people will ask what exactly JQL function is. We already have a JQL in Jira. Then what's the use of this? So basically, script runner will provide you a function using that. What it actually does, it extend your current JQL capabilities, and using that it will try to find out the specific information according to your requirement. So let's quickly see a couple of example of this JQL functions. So if you click on GQL function, you will have a list of GQL function, and I have used couple of GQL function and created a filter for the demonstration purpose. So let's quickly see that, and let's see how do we use these kind of features. So here you can see that I have configured one JQuery function where issue function is the default field where you must have to use where when you want to use script runner function issue function in complete in sprint. So I want to have, if for example, if I'm from agile team can easily relate this example as if I'm from agile team and I'm managing multiple boards and project, and I want to see what are the issues that are completed in particular sprint. So what I'll need to do that I'll make use of complete in sprint, this function from script runner, and I'll add this board name and particular sprint. I'll just hit the search button, so it will give me the total count of issues that are completed for that are completed in during that sprint. And later on I can make use of this particular filter in a dashboard, like if I have agile team dashboard, I can make use of this particular filter in as a pie chart or any sort of reporting gadget. And with that, I can also use incomplete sprint if across the sprint during the sprint, what are the issues that are not completed or not that are not closed, resolved. I can also get that using incomplete sprint function where I need to provide where I need to provide a board name and a sprint name. That's it. It will give us the result. It will give us a result of having issues which are not completed during the sprint. With that, I can also make use of has comments where the it will provide a issue count or a number of issues in which it has a comments or not. So if you want to use it further, you can have it, or you can just have it as a, you can modify it. So basically, if you want to have a new search, so these are not only the limited option, we can have a multiple option. If you see in the JQL list, so these are the functions. The list is quite big, so it's not possible for us to cover it in a single session, but for time being, I'll just I'll just explain you what we can how we can use it. So you can see if I click on new search, you just need to add it as a issue function, and by providing required attributes to a particular issue function, this script runner field, you will have all the function inside the list. It will pop up a list, and then you can make use of according to your use cases. So you can see that we can have multiple functions like aggregation function, or just like I explained, complete in sprint. Or if you want to compare a date compare with the subquery, we can have a subquery for that. If you want to check a file is attached to a particular file, a particular ticket. So these kind of feature we can have. With that, we also has subtasks, whether a particular issues is having subtasks or not. So we'll get the result of issues using this issue function, and this is a more widely used function in across the agile team. So this is a very good feature from script runner. Let's check the next slide. What we have, so we have escalation service or jobs and script fragment. Before that, let's cover escalation service. Why do we need this kind of feature? Like when we want to modify issues, or when we want to perform action after a specified time. For example, tickets not updated from past 5 days, or if we want to close tickets after close inactive tickets after every week. So let's see quickly see the example of this. How do we how do we add the particular job or escalation service into the Jira? For that, as I said, you will navigate to the manage apps, and you will navigate to the option where you can see a jobs. I mean, after clicking on the jobs, you will see a create job option, and if when you click on that option, you will have a two template or two option where you can use escalation service, and you will provide it data in that. Let me just quickly explain you all about what I configured here. So you can see I have added escalation service and named it as a close inactive tickets after a week. So use cases I want to close issues that are those are inactive from past 1 week, and I don't want those ticket will be should be in a inactive or a open state. I only want to mark it as a closed. So I'll provide a note here. I will add a user as an admin user who is having appropriate permission. Then here comes is the important attribute that we want to make sure whether we are providing it as a correct option. You can see example of this expression. We called it as a cron expression. Based on that, it will decide on what day or a particular time it should run. The particular filter will run. So you can see that I have executed on a midnight of Saturday, and it will work on 12:30 a.m. Sunday. So you can make use of this default cron expression, or you can make use of if you want to have a custom cron expression, you can make use of this particular link, and then have a JQL query. If you see that I'm having JQL query, after executing this JQL query, it will just give you a count of the tickets that is a result that is giving a result after this JQL query, and then you will need to decide action whether what we want to do, whether to close it or reopen the issue. So in this case, I want to move it to the done state. Whatever is the permission, validator, and condition, I want everything to skip. And with that, so you can see the option here, transition option. So I want to skip everything which is applied on the particular transition, and with that I want to provide a comment over there like due to inactivity we are closing this particular ticket. So if I see here all the tickets are in progress, and what I'll do for time being, I'll just click on run now. You can see here run now and update button. If I click on run now, what it will do, it will execute this particular job or service for this JQL, and it will move all the issues to done state. You can see it will give a result here, and if I refresh this, you can see that all my issues move to the done state. So this is for a manual. This is for a demonstration purpose. I've explained that we can use it as a run now option. But when you configured it using a cron expression, you don't need to do it as a manual. Manual thing will only have you just need to add it in your bucket, and add it in your bucket and schedule it for a particular day or time frame. So it will automatically run based on your JQL. So this is how escalation service will work. And if you want to customize, if you want to write a customized job, you can also use a custom schedule job. Use when we came across we also handle a situation or use case where there is a client you want to pull out the data from a DB. The particular DB is constantly changing their data. So what we wanted to do, that we wanted to pull out the data from that particular DB and wanted to store in a particular field. So that purpose we configured custom schedule job, where we will write our own script, provide a cron expression or a time frame on which particular date it should run, and based on that it will for example, if we take as a daily, then daily this particular service will run, and it will try to fetch or pull out the data from external DB and show it on a particular custom field. So this is how you will either you make use of a default escalation service or a custom scheduled job. So this is what we have escalation service or a job in Script Runner. script and add-on. Let's move on to a next topic, that is script fragment and REST endpoint. So these till now we have covered uh, the backend server, or the what script runner can provide functionalities to automate the things for admin and for every team. So script fragment is a topic, is a functionality where you can enhance your UI. You can provide you can change your UI, Jira UI, using the functionalities that Scrivener has provided in this. So basically, if you want to, for example, if you want to show an announcement banner for a set of user, and if you want to show different announcement banner for a system admin or admins, so you can configure this kind of UIs using script fragment. And if you also want to add additional buttons for a particular functionality, you can also add it, and you can also show it to a set of user and hide it from a set of user. So this is a bit of this will be too much technical, so we can skip this particular topic for today's session. And next one is also REST endpoints, where you may need background from you need development background for that, where but I'll just give you an overview of this topic, where REST is like a representational state transfer, and when we need this, the REST endpoints. So what's the use when we want to communicate with the other tools, and we want to have our own links, own functionality to be executed in Jira, and if we want to communicate with other tools, then we can configure our own links, or we can create our own links using this REST endpoints, and we can use it in dashboards, and we can if we want to receive any notification from external system, or so that actually provides a way to communicate with other tools. And also inside the functionality, if you want to add anything in a board, or in a dashboard, or in a project board, and also with that we can connect these two functionality, that is script fragment and REST endpoint, where you will add using script primarily, where you will add button into the UI, and you will provide a link using REST endpoints. So this is something that we can make use of, or we can conclude, we can make use of this different functionalities to achieve our requirement. And as I said, this two topics will need either a UI, either these two topics you will need to have a UI related technologies. You must have a knowledge on I mean the HTML, JavaScript, CSS, and also for the REST endpoints, you will have to have a knowledge on REST APIs, or how how we communicate with other tools over the HTTP protocols. So this is all about scriptnal. We covered most of the things that we were trying to we were thought to try to cover in this session. uh, to like before having moving to the question, we need to conclude, where we have covered most of the workflow utilities. We covered the daily use cases that we can achieve using condition, post function, or validation, and also for the dynamic control over the fields, we cover it using behaviors. uh, we covered it using behavior. For post activities, we covered it using listeners. So using listener, we what we do, that is already explained by Sarika. Using built-in script, we for non-technical teams, we can make use of a built-in script. No need to have a scripted or a Groovy script knowledge. In that case, we can make use of built-in script. For scripted field, as you can as you know, we also covered calculation. If you want a calculation based fields, calculated fields, then we can make use of scripted fields. also a JQL function where it will more likely for everyone, like not for the agile teams. We can make use of for the non-technical, for technical teams, we can make use of this JQL functions to extend the current JQL functionalities. And with the use of escalation service, we can make use of the jobs. We can make use of these jobs and escalation service to automate to another level if you want to have a modify the issues to after a specified time. And as I said, using scriptner endpoint, as these two are very advanced topics, we are skipping for this session, but these are also a very good feature from scriptner. So this is it from our end. We are open to have a question if anyone is having any question.
Thank you, Vedant. I love the energy and thank you guys for, taking the session for 2 hours long. So there's a question in the chat. It says, an example of Jira gadgets which use REST endpoints or fragments also?
So currently we don't have any examples of Jira REST endpoints or dashboard. We wanted to have this as a not too much a technical session, so that's why we covered most of the built-in scripts and what are the easily available script we have. So
great. There's one. Can you see the chat, Vedant?
Sure. Yeah.
It says use case is that there are more than one team in a project and each have their own states of item. We change team on an issue based on situation at the runtime. It is started. How can it be taken care? So before getting into the discussion, I really want to say, in the interest of time, we are like 2 hours already in, so we'll take limited questions. Go on with that.
Sure. So I love to hear more about the actual requirement, whether it is falls under the dynamic field behavior or what you want to use it.
So Vedant, it's my question, Ashish here. So the question is that in an agile way, we say that team can have their own process and the way they want to work. So we have a customized board for each teams, and multiple teams are working on one particular project. So when I would say the product owners, they decide about which items to be moved to which team. So based on features that team is working on. So in general, for each project, there is a flow or issue type which we have, and once we have one item which is to be worked by team one, we assign that to team as a drop down. We have a customized field as team. We select that team, and now what we want is that the transition that is there should be for that particular team should be based on what they have decided, the customized flow that they want.
So it is like the defined state, like you have configured in a script, or it is like you want to have a dynamic way of this.
Yes.
Hey,
yes.
Ashish, I get your question. This is Sajid, by the way.
Yeah,
so
Sajid, yes,
what I feel is what you can do is fairly, don't get too complex with it. So like, let's say you have two status A and B. Use multiple transitions and multiple ways for going from A to B, but put validators in for which group or which team can use which transition.
Okay.
Are you understanding what I'm saying? So like say A to B, there are two ways to go to A. From A to B, you can use X transition and you can use Y transition. You can name X transition anything and give the access using validators for team A, and you can use Y transition for team B and name it anything. So what it'll do is give you two transitions for the same workflow, and they can have their own transitions.
So in that case, Sajid, we can have more than let's say for team A, we can have two states in the transition, and for team B, we can have 3 states in the transition.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You can modify that using validators for any which way you want.
Okay, fine. Thanks.
Sure. there's a lot of interest coming in for groovy. Vedant.
Yeah.
Maybe we
Yeah.
can do that sometime in the future,
Yeah.
Meghna.
Yeah.
Yep,
I
yep,
get that. So
yep.
we can surely do that. We can plan another session from
Yeah.
Vedant.
And
Some
maybe
extent.
Meghna, what we can do is next time we can just like include just the groovy part of it, and Krishna Mohan and Mahavishnu, what we can do is whatever session we have, we can like have a 15-minute add-on where one of us can just come in and just talk about groovy and give you some examples, because I think right now we are way out of time, so I don't think we
Yeah.
can do that.
That's right. We can surely do that. I mean, usually our session lasts for 1 hour because
Yeah.
it was a very interesting topic and a very detailed demo from you guys. I'm really happy to, get all the participation and all the details that you guys have shared. This was indeed a very, not a very simple topic, but yes, thank you for everybody who has stayed, and special thank you for Vedant and Sarika for this amazing energy that you guys have. And Sarika, you've already presented one same energy, amazing work. So
Thank you,
for the
Meghna.
questions, you guys can reach out to these people directly. After the session, I will share the details and we'll share the recordings of this session as well with you guys. People who have already filled the attendance sheet, it would be easier. If you have not, please go ahead and do that. It makes our job easy to send the emails. We'll do that. And yeah, thank you for staying and have a great weekend. Thank you guys again. Go ahead and do something nice to yourself now. Enough learning. All right. Bye bye. Take care.
Yeah. Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you, everyone. Yep.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.